Hi there, I'm Miriam, and welcome to Miriam's Manor. You guys, I am so glad to introduce you today to Trina. She is our one of my members, and we are obviously doing another interview today. Trina will actually be the last interview of this series. So I hope you all enjoy. We are actually shooting this December 23rd. So you can see right behind her, she already has her village up. So maybe we can get a sneak peek of that today as well. So, Trina, welcome.
Thank you, Marion, for having me.
Of course. So now, for those of you, if her face looks familiar, Trina and I met in May earlier this year when we did the member meetup in Maryland or Virginia. We were in Virginia.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so you might recognize her face from the pictures that I showed from that video. So it's so good to see you again.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad that you invited me to be interviewed.
Yeah.
I think it'll help a lot of people, and that's what I know you're about.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. So
Mm-hmm.
tell me a little bit about how you got started in this hobby.
Okay. Um, I would say in my 20s, I would visit a few friends' homes, and their moms would have a village out soon as you walk in the door. And I just admired it so. But I never thought it was within reach. So my father-in-law, I married my husband in August 28th, 2011. And he had this elaborate village. It took up the entire family room, and their family room was quite large. So he had the like trains going around the trees, a train going around the entire family room with Santa waving, smoke coming out the chimney. It was just so elaborate, and I used to just love to see it, admire it, ask a lot of questions. But that's as far as I went. So unfortunately, he got sick, and in 2013, it was on. Unfortunately, it was on Christmas Eve.
Oh,
That's when he passed away. But 2 weeks prior, so I know it was always on his mind, and I was always very helpful. 2 weeks prior to his passing, he's just out of the blue, randomly. I don't know what we were talking about, but out of the blue, he said, "Trina, go get the houses." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "Okay, Daddy, are you sure?" And he said, "Yes, I'm sure." I was like, "Okay." So of course my husband was like, "My dad's sick and you getting houses." I said, "Listen, you're supposed to always listen to your elders." That's how I grew up. So that evening before we left, I went to the basement and I got houses. And my mother-in-law later said, "There's more, and you definitely need trees." And I
mm,
was like, "Okay." So I was like, wow. So I have a picture of my very first village, and I wanted to show him. So I'll just show you real quick of what it looked like.
oh, so sweet.
Miriam, when I tell you it meant everything to me, this village right here meant everything to me. Like you couldn't tell me that it wasn't fancy. My mother lost it. It's very cute. Yes, it is. But you need more trees. There's trees in the basement. I said, okay, fine, no problem. But not right now. This is good. And he just smiled, you know. And like I said, unfortunately, he passed away on New Year's Eve, 2013. So that was my first in 2013. And then the next year, oh, after the holiday, when things would go on sale, I would go to Joann's and Michael's and,
Mhm.
you know, buy things at 70% off and stuff like that. And then it just kept growing and growing. Um, like, I don't know, a couple years in, and I forget which year it was that I started looking on YouTube looking for ideas. And one of my girlfriend's co-workers, she works for USAA, they asked her if I was Caucasian. And Stacy was like, "No." And I said, "Well, Stacy, don't be offended." I said, "It's just within our culture, it's not something that we really grew up with. I
Right,
was
right.
shocked when I saw everything from my father-in-law, because even my friends in the past, they were not African American. But again, it just took me to a place like like a little girl, just, just
Like
in this
just
little
play.
world. Like, I just wanted to be there, you know.
Yeah.
So that's how I got started. And when I ran across your channel, I was like, she's an angel. And it was just the way that you would explain things. And I said, I can do this. And you always say, don't be afraid, whether it's big or whether it's small, you know, make it what you want. And I said, I like her. So, but still, I was a little, I don't know, apprehensive, just a little about just venturing out and the tools. And I remember going to a train show in Baltimore, and
Mm,
I met Pat, and I explained to her that I met this, well, not really met formally, but I ran across your channel. I said, she is amazing. And then she started explaining to me about the tools and everything. And they just looked intimidating to me. And I was like, I don't know, but let me just think about it. So the more I got into your channels and following you and watching you, um, I said, you know what? I'm going to order some of those tools. So my little hot wire, oh, here they are. My little tools.
yeah.
So I got those. And I just started just being a bit more adventurous. But like when I met you in May, I said that, and I think I've even spoken to you on the lives. I said that I think I would like to do a water element. You
Yeah.
know, you were like, you can do it. I
Yeah.
said, okay, okay. Well, this Christmas I did do a water element. Yeah,
Awesome.
yes, I did. So that's
And
how
I
I got started.
haven't seen it yet because you didn't do the contest.
I was late. I just finished. What's
Oh,
today?
I
Today's
can't wait to see.
Saturday. I just finished Thursday night at 11 o'clock. You know, because we're all about details. You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
details. So I just finished Thursday. And I told Robin, I shared with him, I said, listen, I said, I know I was late. I almost feel guilty that I didn't participate, being a platinum member, diehard Miriam follower. Um, but it's okay. I said, I will have it to share when we
Yeah.
do our live.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Mhm.
Because I can always still see it privately too, because I still actually, even Becky sent me one of our other platinum members. She sent me her village 2 days ago, and I just viewed it. Either was it last night or this morning? Oh my gosh, I've been up so early I couldn't remember what it was. But I just viewed hers, and she put together such a beautiful carnival and ski mountain. There we go.
Mhm.
And so I
Mhm.
still enjoy getting the emails even after the contest, just to be able to see your all of your projects, see what you're working on, see, especially to see like where you started and then to
Uh-huh.
see where you are at today. I love seeing those transformations.
It's about growth for sure. I've
Hmm.
learned so much from watching you, even if I don't try a particular project, I still like to watch. I love, love, love creative people. I just do. I do.
Yeah, I'm drawn in the same manner. I am drawn in
Mhm.
the same way to creatives, and I'm always like, I like, that's why I think I love the interview so much, because I want to delve into your head just as
Uh-huh.
much as you guys have been a part of mine, to see like, what were you thinking when you did this? And when you did your layout, how did you decide to design it? And actually, so that's my next question. How
Mhm.
is your layout this year? Because I can see like a tippy top
Uh-huh.
of your
I'm gonna
village
pull it
right
down.
now with the little
Um,
carnival.
it takes me a long time to decide what I would like to do, because so many things start going through your head. And I have a lot of houses. I have a dedicated room. It's like a little storage room downstairs. and it's just
Wow.
it's all Christmas with the exception of one shelf. But it's all of my Christmas. I tried to organize them because I got frustrated. Like, where is this house? I know this is here, you know. So I was trying to put different houses, you know, just organize them by vendor, you know.
Hmm.
So yeah, but
How many
when they were
houses do you think you own?
I think it's 160. And um, I forgot which follower it was, and she said that she lists all of hers.
DME.
So Tammy. So prior to me deciding what theme I was going to come up with, I said, you know, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to go downstairs and I'm going to just log all of the houses. I had 3 duplicates. So my friend Gina, I shared with her, you know, I said, do you have a muffin house? She said, no. I said, okay, well, you'll have one.
Mhm.
So anything extra I had, I would gift to her because as a result of me getting new things, oh, plus, not to go back, but when my father-in-law passed and I inherited all of these houses, they were big houses and they were small houses, the little mini. I never used the small ones for about 3 or 4 years. So when Gina came over about 5 years ago, she was just looking and I said, so do you village? She said, well, yes. And I said, well, how many houses do you have? And it didn't sound like she had many. And I said, well, come downstairs. I would like to gift you something. Marion, I gave her all. When I started accumulating a lot of newer houses, I know I gave her about 30 or 40 houses, even the little ones. I did.
Wow.
Because I knew what her passion was.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's
So she's
awesome.
all into it.
So
So
you could have been pushing like 200.
easy,
Not. Oh,
easy, 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 easy,
that's
easy, easy.
so hilarious.
And you know, we in Maryland here, the beauty is you're in the DMV area. So all in one day, I could be at 3 or 4 different Hobby Lobbies, 3 or 4 different Michaels, and that's just how I am. I will get up early in the morning. I'm relentless. I will be in Montgomery County, Howard County, Prince George's County, go across the bridge to Alexandria, go to Falls Church. Um, if that's not good enough, take a ride 3 hours away to Suffolk, Virginia. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's me. You know, just get up and go.
That's awesome. You're
Yes.
adventurous. You would probably be the perfect person to take a vacation with.
Oh yes. Let's get up. Let's map it out and let's go.
Yeah.
And we have to have rules. You can't be going to the bathroom every 5 minutes. We're gonna grab a pretzel. We're gonna grab something. We're just gonna go and we're just gonna explore.
I
We're
love
just gonna
traveling
explore.
with
We'll meet
people
up.
like you because I am not the type that ever puts an agenda together, but I love doing a lot of stuff. But I won't do the work to actually put it together. But I traveled with a girlfriend years ago, and she put the entire agenda. And she was like, "Miriam, do you care what it is?" I was like, "Girl, I'm rolling. If you plan it, I'm going. Like, let's do it."
That's my friend Stacy.
And
And
it was
Jean's that
so
way
much
too.
fun.
I have 2 friends I can
Best
call.
time.
Yes, I have 2 friends that I can truly call if it's 5 or 6 in the morning. Good morning. No matter what, they'll take the call, and I'm the same way.
Right. That's
Yes.
awesome. That's really
Yeah.
awesome.
Uh-huh.
So, how did you design your village layout for this year?
I did a beachfront. I love going to the beach. I don't always have to get in the water, but the environment there is just relaxing. I could just sit under the little umbrella and just chill all day and laugh and, you know, just enjoy myself. So that's what I came up with. I knew I was going to start there.
Okay.
And that's what I did. And I knew I was going to have, because Lowe's carried Carrolltown.
Mm-hmm.
I remember maybe last year, I think it was last year, I bought a row of, they were called brownstones. So I picked them up because I knew I wasn't going to use an 8x4 table. So I cut it down and used 4x6.
Uh-huh.
So just missing a little bit. But I was like, okay, this is doable. Miriam said, don't worry about it.
Make
Just
it
imagine
work.
yourself there. Can you imagine? I said, okay, well, we can do the beach. That's going to be, center stage. Then, of course, I had the homes. And then I said, well, during Christmas, you have to have, the post office. That's significant. So for packages and stuff. And then I had to have a little business district.
All
And
right.
and then going on around um, the hotel, and then like a little Italian cafe. I love Italian food. It's like one of my favorites.
Me too.
So that's how it's laid out, and it clearly demonstrates that. And as a result of you showing us how to do stairs, I had to do stairs to create the transition.
Nice. Nice. How did
So
it turn out?
beautiful. I must say, I could show you. I mean, you just tell me when you want me to take the computer over there and I'll show you.
Yes, let's do it. Let's get.
Okay, certainly.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh
So I
my
had
God.
to create my little dock slash pier.
Oh, oh my gosh.
Okay, let's start here. Well, let's go to the side here. So I didn't do I have a lot of carnival pieces, but I didn't do a whole lot of them.
Yeah.
So I tried to pick 3 good pieces and make it make sense, right, Miriam?
Yes.
So I'll get down a little,
Oh
and then
my God.
we'll come around here. But to the back, you see the brownstone?
I do. Those are gorgeous. I have not seen those through Carrolltown.
Really?
Oh my gosh, look at the lights flickering on them. Did you add those lights to that building?
No, I didn't add any lights to anything with the exception of my gingerbread little what do you call these? Little food truck.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I love that. I am gonna have to look
And
for
then
that.
of course the mail room.
Oh.
And these little packages there?
Go down just a little bit. I can't see the packages. Oh, there you go.
Okay, can you see the packages now?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And they're loose.
Oh,
Yes. Found those in the doll section
you
in
too.
Michael.
Oh, and your stairs do look good.
Well, thank you.
Look
And look, I
fantastic.
found this beach house, but I call it my welcome center at Kohl's.
It's beautiful.
And then my little boardwalk, and I have sand, floating on the boardwalk. Oh, and I love crabs, right? Crabs.
Oh, yes.
We
And
have crabs.
all your little food trucks lined up like it would be right off of a boardwalk. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That
And
is so
then
cute.
my little message in a bottle, and guess what it says?
What?
Peace wins. Peace wins.
Nice.
Yes.
That
And
is
then
cute.
down here. Oh, and I have this is from Carrolltown, this boat. Can you see that?
Yes.
Yes. I turned the volume off because everything has music.
Mm-hmm.
And
What is
going on
that
around.
building? Right there on the
Yeah.
corner.
You see the candy work?
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Oh so wait
Last
a minute.
year.
Listen,
Last yes.
I just saw this building. Uh,
Really?
I went shopping with Varouge, Mr. Christmas Village. Oh my God, I still never released that video. I'm just realizing I never released the video from our shopping trip. But I saw that building when I was with him, and I was like, "Shut up! Why don't I own this? It's so
I
cute."
don't know, but I love things that move.
Me too. And look at
Yes.
your windmill. That is so cute.
That's Millie's Muffins, and my mother's name was Mildred, and they used to call her Millie.
Oh,
And that's me paying homage to my mom.
that's so awesome. Oh, and that's the one you had 3 of.
I only had one. Lemax came out with another muffin shop, but
Oh,
it
okay, so
wasn't
it's
as
different.
animated as this one. So I gave away the other one
That is
and
gorgeous.
kept this one. And then going around, can you see, Mary?
Yes.
See
Oh,
my stairs?
and your
See, I
side.
even made a mistake. I made a mistake here because I should have brought that up some, but instead I just put some pots there.
Absolutely. And make it work.
And then of course the bottling company and the little bottles, the little Coke bottles, and then the cheese.
Oh,
And you see the bottles,
yes. That
Coke
is
bottles.
so cute. And
Yes.
the little container that it comes in.
Yes. Look at this.
Oh my gosh, that's too cute. I love
Yes. And then the hotel, of course, and the little man sitting there.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love it.
That's my beach town.
Oh my gosh, it's perfect. And I see you got your backdrop with
Yes,
the
yes,
stars.
yes, absolutely. Yes.
It's so you did good.
Well, thank you. You know, I had problems with trying to create stairs like Miriam. And I share this with Robin. I can't, I'm sorry I keep saying his name, but he has been a huge inspiration in giving me ideas of how to do things because I was frustrated.
Yeah.
And this was maybe a month ago. I'm sure it was a month ago. So when I stopped by to see him, um, he said, I'm going to show you what I use. And I was like, okay, because I had ordered Hot Wire's cutting system, you know, the table.
Okay.
And he said, yeah, but it was just too much for me. And I was like, I need lines. I'm just one of those people. I need lines. I need a grid. And when I saw him, I was like, oh my goodness, you know. So, ta-da! I have one
You
of
got a box
these.
on.
Yes, it saved my life. Plus, I don't know if you know, I'm sure you did know this, but I made sidewalks for the first time.
I
All
did see your
inspiration.
sidewalk.
Yes, I was laying in bed Wednesday and I was like, I need sidewalks. I need sidewalks. So I could have been done maybe Wednesday, but I said, no, I need sidewalks and I have to black wash them. I have to, you know. So
Yeah.
I did all that with this Proxon and I did my stairs with the Proxon. It just, it helped. It worked for me. So everybody has to find their own little niche.
Yeah.
However, all things are possible.
That's
All
right.
things are possible.
For those who believe.
Yes, yes. But I do know if I had normally what I try to do now is have my village done before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But again, time got away from me, and that's okay. But I still, it wasn't how I started that race. It was how I finished.
Yes.
So, yeah. So,
We are in the same boat with that this year because I did not finish my village until December 15th.
Miriam, and you host this
Yes.
year.
Yes. I
Miriam,
had a big,
that's off to you. I
listen,
don't know how you did it. Sleepless nights.
I had my Christmas party and I had about 65 people here
Oh my
December
God.
16th.
Mm-hmm.
And so I had to finish it. And I had gotten such a late start. Then I came up against so many roadblocks this season and so many delays. And I just couldn't get it done in the time that I wanted to get it done. I still haven't even released my full village video yet.
I was
Yeah.
wondering.
I have
Okay.
so much content. Excuse me. I have so much content that I still have to edit and get out to you all,
Mm-hmm.
that I just haven't had the time to get to because this year has been unbelievably busy, and there's so many like little odd things that have come up that don't normally this time of year. So after the first of the
Mm-hmm.
year, I will be able to finally get out some of the other projects that I worked on. Like I'm going to shoot my video of my village and release that, but I have projects that I wanted to give, especially to you members,
Mm-hmm.
to show you kind of the behind the scenes of how I did certain things and put things together.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
Some of those videos will just come a little bit later after the season, but they'll be on their way.
That's fine. We understand. We do understand. We
Yeah.
do understand
It,
because of who you are. We understand. We're like, how does she do all this stuff? And then maintain your family.
yeah,
It's a lot.
it is. It is a lot. But I have been I actually cut my table, one of my tables in half because I couldn't finish my village according to the original plan that I had.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so I cut it in half so I just didn't even have to worry about trying to fill that space so that I could just be done with the village because I ran out of time. That was the
Okay,
first
it's
time I'd
okay.
ever done that. But it was like,
It's
this is what
okay.
you have to do. And
Yes.
and it's one of those things like do whatever you need to do, especially to feel comfortable, to make it work in your timeline, your budget, whatever it is. Like just
Hmm.
sometimes you just gotta go with the flow like that and make it
Yes.
happen. And
Yes.
that was definitely one of those times for me.
And me too, because I was like, okay, I have to do small, but I have to make it make sense. So I had popsicle sticks going on. And I had all different sizes. I said, this has got to work, but let me get this beach together first. So in doing so, I just know certain things that I would like to do a little different because I did have a little mishap with the risen, but it's okay. I,
Yeah.
I made it. So I'll blend the colors more. But I knew I was working with a small area. I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't going to be like Ocean City, but still, I wanted to show the depths of the water.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a big old boat. I can't have all turquoise water.
Yes. Yes. So with now having your tools and tackling some of these projects from where you started, like if you were giving this advice to someone in your shoes just a few years ago when you were like, "Ooh, can I do this?"
Mm-hmm.
Was it as hard as you thought it was going to be?
No, no. It just requires time.
Yes.
And give yourself, allot yourself time. So if you have a mistake, you can fix it or consult with someone. Because
Yeah.
I think with all of your followers, I feel very confident to say if any of us were to reach out to any of them, they would be very willing to
Oh,
help.
yes. Oh, yes.
So
You
that's
guys are all
another.
awesome. Everybody, everyone is awesome, and
It's
everyone is
just a
always
lot.
willing to help and
Mhm.
give whatever knowledge that we all have and share so many like different tips and tricks and things like that. So,
Absolutely, absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. And I know for a fact it starts at the top with you because you've created the space to do so, and it
Uh,
just means a lot to me. And I still, like even with Silvio, I look at all of his work, and like you said, it's something that you say all the time that you can get a little nugget from here, a nugget from there,
yeah.
and it just makes a big difference. And then a lot of times I watch other followers just for inspiration. So I love when you show. To me, it's not really about winning a contest. It's about sharing your knowledge and your work and your craft. And everyone has their own um, skills and like, how did you come up with that concept?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you might get stuck. It's almost like writing a paper. Like, you can write this paper, but you just have to get started. You
Yeah.
know. So that's how I think, because I used to always struggle with getting started with how to write a paper. But once I got started, I was on a roll. But the same thing, I get stuck sometimes trying to think. And then I often think, okay, well, what makes me happy? Like, what would I want to do? What would I want to see? Where
Yeah.
do I want to go?
That's a
So,
perfect place to start.
yes,
That is
yes.
always the perfect place to start. And I
Mm-hmm.
will echo your sentiments with the contest because that is what I have said for years since we started. Excuse me. And always trying to encourage people to enter, not just to truly try to win, but
Mm-hmm.
you never know where someone is going to draw inspiration from. And it could be your village or a section of your village that someone has also been trying to recreate that they can now see it and have an example
Mm-hmm.
of it and be able to use that as a guide for them to create something themselves. or even if they want to just copy it completely, then they're able to actually recreate it. So
Mhm.
I get so much inspiration off of the villages that I see every single year from you guys. Somebody actually, I just put together, was it on the artistry? It was on the artistry, and I told myself, go back and rewatch this because there were two things in particular that I was like, I'm doing that next year. That I saw
Uh-huh.
in two separate villages, and I was like, oh yes, like it already had my
See,
wheels turning, and I was just like, ooh, that's gonna be that little piece right there. That's gonna be in my village next year. But
I agree. I'm already thinking about next year what I need to do.
yes,
So I need to start early. I know I need to start early. And you're right. Well, yeah. I mean, it's crazy because I just finished this Thursday, but I'm already thinking about next year.
yeah.
Yeah, I will be on time.
And for
Definitely.
me next year too, I want to finish my village next year for sure by like even October if I can.
Mhm.
I think I'm just going to go
Okay.
ahead and start in July and not wait till September. I think I'm just going to start early because the room I set it up in, it's not doing anything but just sitting there. It's an
Waiting
empty
for
space.
you.
So
Yes. Yes.
I can put my village up early if I want to.
Yes, you can, especially if you have to build something. Especially if you have to build something.
This year I built 4 new pieces.
What?
Yeah, big pieces.
Uh-huh.
So,
Uh-huh.
and every year is the same. I am building every single year like this.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
need the time. I need the time.
Yes. Yes. And then I will feel so much better. It was anxiety, like you would not believe. Do it. I mean, 7 whole days. 7 whole days. I was moving.
Wow.
So,
That's amazing that you finished in 7 days. That's
mhm,
impressive. It's really
mhm,
impressive.
7 days. And I
So,
had to pick and choose. I have to show you my room. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
how many buildings do you have out right now in this village? Like approximately, do you know off the top of your head?
No, 13?
Nice. So out of 160, you only chose 13.
Yes.
I love that because to me, when I look at your village, I feel like it has room to breathe.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
ev- sometimes when it's too much, you can
Mm-hmm.
you can lose those fine details because there's just too many things around. But I love that I look at your village and I can just see all of the little details that you incorporated throughout your village and it makes all those little bitty nuggets just so much more special because they're staring at you instead of you having to like fine tune and dig for it, you know?
Exactly.
And I've done it both ways throughout my village
Mm-hmm.
seasons. I've had a lot and I've completely scaled it back and but I notice now as I continue on in this, I definitely lean toward like less is more with
Yes.
buildings. And then I'll bump it up with trees and accessories and figurines and all of the things that make the scene. But I do tend to scale it back and not use as many buildings anymore, like I had a few years. But
Yes. And since this is a beach town, I stayed away from a lot of the pine trees.
yes,
And
yeah.
that makes a big, big difference. So I was like, oh my goodness. And I was like, I need more trees. I have to run out. So and then what else happened? Um, so once it was all laid out and I had the trees, that's when I did the stairs because I had to actually look at it and think, okay, if you're here, how are you going to get here? And what about here? The transitions. I was like, okay, okay, okay. So that's how I just went crazy. But it's a good crazy. It's a good crazy. Yes,
Now,
absolutely.
aside from like the inspiration that you've received from like Robin and myself, do you have
Hmm.
any help putting your village together from anyone else, like physically helping you do the work?
No.
No. Would you
Mm-mm. You
want
know why?
me
You know why? I'm a true Pisces. I don't know if you believe in zodiacs, but I'm a true Pisces. I could be going this way and not feeling it, and I'll pivot and I'll go in another whole another direction. But I'm not opposed to collaborating either.
to? Okay, nice.
But I would have to have a really good sense of the person to just trust them and say, okay, well, you do that section and I'll do this section, and then we could collaborate later. You maybe you ask me my opinion, I'll ask you, your opinion about something. So that's the growth in me, and,
Yeah.
and I could feel that, from beginning to now,
Yeah.
to like trust. But I only trust the people who I know village
Right, right.
and I've seen their work.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's the thing,
Hmm.
because we kind of, our brains work a little bit differently in the way we see
Yes.
things and the way we know that we want it executed. And it's hard for someone sometimes who hasn't done it to capture your vision and to see like where
Yes.
you want to take this. I remember the first year I started villaging, my mother and I did our first village together. And we, my mother is super creative as well. And
Hmm.
so we got together and
I've seen Mama Eve's work.
oh, yeah. But we did a village on a 10-inch wide banister. And the way my mother's staircase is, it was at my mother's house. And I still have to see if I can find,
Hmm.
if I find the pictures right now, I'll pop it up on the screen. Um, but
Okay.
we only had this much space to work with, but we gave those houses small little yards. We still had sidewalks and yeah,
What?
all the things.
How long have you been doing sidewalks, Miriam?
Um, well, that year I didn't hand make anything. I just bought everything. My very first year.
Okay.
That was in
Okay. Okay.
2016. But I remember
Hmm.
after that, I told my mom, I said, next year I had my house was finally done. I moved into the house that I'm in now. So I was with my mom for like 3 months during this time period because my old house had sold, but my new house we built and it wasn't done yet. So my mom has a few extra rooms. She
Hmm.
let my family come live with her for 3 months until this house was completed. And it was during Christmas time. So that's why we ended up doing the Christmas village together.
Uh-huh.
She said to me one day, "Do you want to do a Christmas village this year?" And I was like, "What's a Christmas village?" And so she pulled up videos on YouTube and showed me. And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And so I was like, "But mom, where are we going to put it?"
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And that's when we said, let's do it on the banister. And so all upstairs, she's got a 10-inch wide
That
banister
is
that kind of wraps
so
around
creative.
in a U. And we got super
Mhm.
creative and made it so awesome. And I hope that I could find the pictures to put up because it was our
That
very first
sounds
year,
beautiful.
but we just we're able to work well with each other and bounce a lot of good
Hmm.
ideas off of each other. But the following year, I remember her telling her, like, I want to take my village to the next level because I had saw some stuff on YouTube with some other people's villages and I saw them making all this stuff. And I was like, how did they do that? And that's what sparked that first desire in me. The problem was is I couldn't really find
Hmm.
any helpful tutorials to teach me how to do it.
Okay.
And so I wasted a ton of
Okay.
money making a lot of expensive mistakes. And before realizing, oh,
Hmm.
this, like, honestly, I learned how to do this trial and error, buying stuff, going to Lowe's or Home Depot or Michael's, Joann's, wherever, and going, what's going to work to
Uh-huh.
waterproof this lake? what can I try
Mhm.
next? Because I had
Mhm.
resin leak out 3 different times, and I was 3 bottles in at this point, and I'm like, this is too expensive.
That's some expensive stuff. That's what happened to me. I secured 3/4 of the size, but what was I thinking? It was late, and my aunt, she sews, and when we were making masks, she was sewing them, I was making them, and we were just having a good time. But both of us agreed that when you start to make 1 or 2 mistakes, it's time to stop. It's just time to stop.
Yeah.
And that's what happened when my resin leaked, and it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I about lost it. I was running frantically, getting paper towels, and I was like, what was I thinking? I was tired. I was fatigued,
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I survived. I survived. Something tells me you may do like a village seminar, maybe.
Mm.
I could see you planning that, and a lot of us will come. A
I
lot of us would come
I
to learn
did
how to
talk about
do
it.
certain things.
Okay, so I have talked about it, and I definitely have thought about it.
Uh-huh.
Um, and maybe someday I will be able to, but honestly, I don't think that there's a lot of things that just can't coexist at the same time. Like YouTube and a convention can't exist
Mm-hmm.
at the same time. It's just far too much work for how
Uh-huh.
present I want to be with my family. And
Mm-hmm.
but I have given it a lot of thought, and my husband and I have bounced some ideas off of each other of even how we would want it to be, vendors, space, location, all of the things that go into planning an event
Mm-hmm.
like that. One of my members
Mm-hmm.
also, Diamita, she has a lot of experience
Mm-hmm.
in that space as well, and offered to,
Mm-hmm.
kind of coach me through the process on a few things that I'm unfamiliar with. Um,
Uh-huh.
so maybe I
I would say start small. No matter what you decide, I would say go small first.
tell me, what is your favorite part about the villaging process?
My favorite part is once I decide what it is I'm planning to do, then I just go nuts. It's not like I don't have enough supplies, but I don't know about anybody else. But I love to shop for things that I need. And
Yeah.
I really didn't have a lot of beach stuff. So, ta-da, off to Hobby Lobby and Michael's. So, and then I'm so anxious, but I know I have to be patient to go through the process to get everything done.
Hmm.
Because once I had my eyes and my mind locked in on a beachfront, I was too excited, and I knew that was gonna take me. Um, I needed to invest most of my time into that, so I did the hardest part first.
Yeah.
That's the method to my madness. Do the hardest part first, and then go from there.
Yeah, because then the rest will just seem easy
Yes,
when you go
yes,
to put things
yes,
together. That's awesome.
yes.
That's awesome. And that
Once I got that straight, I could like woosah because I could do the rest. Mhm.
is there anything that you want to do that you haven't done yet, either with like a layout or a build or a theme?
I would like to do a beautiful mountain with a pretty waterfall, and I would like to have little landings where, um, like campers, because I do have a few little campers. I have one tiny house, so they need to be nestled in. And trust me, I'm a warm weather type young lady. But thinking about this, I know I would like to have this mountain. And the reason why I think about it often, because in West Virginia and Pennsylvania, especially in Pennsylvania, they have a lot of bridges. And then, of course, you go up into the mountains and stuff. And I remember going through a mountain in West Virginia
Wow.
we were driving to Ohio. So it's just something that I think about. And I said, it has to be right. And I cannot rush it. I can't rush it.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to do a nice build on that and a nice tunnel, because I do have an Acela train. I've always wanted an Acela train. It's beautiful.
Oh.
It's very sleek, So, but I want to, because, here we're close to Baltimore. There's two tunnels, the Fort McHenry Tunnel and the Harbor Tunnel. They run parallel. So I was like, I wonder if I could do a tunnel and have water on top of my tunnel. Have water.
Yes.
I know that it's just something, because I go through that tunnel a lot. Yeah. I don't know what's going to come first. The mountain with a tunnel through it, or a tunnel with water over it. But something's going to happen here. I have to really think. And once I figure it out in my head, I will have to start constructing probably in July to get this together.
Those are both awesome ideas. When you said the tunnel with the water, I was like, oh,
yes,
I could see it.
Yes.
I could see it.
And I know it's possible, Miriam. I know it's possible.
It is.
So it just has to be. Plus, Baltimore is now a port where ships go out. Like when I go through that one tunnel, Harbor Tunnel, you see the ship, Carnival cruise ship to the right. I just think that is the neatest thing. And even when I go to Florida, I see all the ships and all that. It's just, I don't know. I just like seeing it.
Yeah.
A city with all these nice, beautiful ships and stuff. So
it is.
I don't own one of those little mini ships, but I'm sure I could talk to one of my little trusty friends. Somebody can build me something with one of these 3D printers. So I'm often thinking, I'm a dreamer. I just think about things all the time. I know that's possible. I know it is.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
See? That's an idea. That's definitely a idea. But these are some of the things I think about.
Robin?
Yes. Yes.
Can you make this?
Absolutely. He's such a good guy. And I love talking to him.
He's the best. Robin is, hang on one second, here we go. My charger wasn't in there, right? Robin is so helpful and so full of good ideas. And he is definitely someone, if you're having just a block, just to call. Hey, like I was thinking about this. What would you do? What would you use? Or how would you go about building it?
And see, as a friend, I value him so much. And the beauty of making something for yourself, for your own village, it's rewarding when it's done, whether I make a little mistake or not. I could have easily asked him to help me, and I know he would have, but I didn't want to. Yeah. Like it probably takes me maybe 5 minutes. I go out of my development, make a left, 5 minutes. There's a street right there. I have to pass this street.
That close?
You get that close.
Oh my God.
That close. Yep, that close. Yeah. Wow. So I value my friends. If I say someone's a friend, I truly value my friends, but I'm very competitive in my own spirit. So I just want to do it. And it's very, very rewarding. But I will consult with someone who knows more than me, which is lovely. And it's a gift to have someone who has that expertise, So, yeah. So I was determined to do my beach fair.
You. That's so awesome.
5 minutes. I can leave out of here in 5 minutes. I'm over there.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
I knew you guys were close in proximity. I didn't realize you were that close. That's amazing.
Yes, we're that close.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And especially to have someone who is into the same thing. Because in your personal life, do you find that you have a lot of friends that have this hobby with you?
No, it's just one.
And
It's
Gail,
just
what you
one.
said her name was?
Gina.
Gina. Yeah.
Gina. Yes. So
Yeah.
I was done Thursday. Friday morning, Gina was here. Her and a friend of hers,
Aw.
her significant son, they were Glenn. They were here. Yep. She said, "I'm coming. Are you home?" I said, "No." She lives in Washington D.C. and I was taking my granddaughter to school. I said, "But I'll be back in an hour. So just go eat, go do something." She was about 10:30. They were here.
Oh,
She said, "I have to see it."
so
I
awesome.
never showed her any pictures. I don't even think I told her what I was doing. Yeah, I wanted it to be a surprise. And she was like, "Oh my God, Trina, da 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 da." She was just asking questions. Yeah. So yeah, but she's the only one out of all my friends.
So since you
Yes.
just finished your village not too long ago, how long do you plan on keeping this one up?
Okay, this is funny. Usually I keep my village up until the first blanketed snow.
Okay.
Now, one year we didn't get any snow till late February. It was after Valentine's Day and everything. But I was like, well, everybody kept saying, "You still have that thing up?" I said, "Yes, I'm just waiting for the first snow to just cover the ground." So, but this year, I think I'll just keep it up till the end of January.
Okay. That'll give you still enough time
Yeah.
to really enjoy it.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy it and I'll be thinking about next year.
Yes.
That's what I'll do.
I
Because it
think,
doesn't take me long to take it down.
yeah, taking it down is way faster than putting it up for sure. Yeah.
Yes. So, Miriam, do you, I mean, you've been villaging for a while now, but do you still get questions from followers regarding basic things? Like they're still a little apprehensive, like thinking that they can't do it? Do
Yes.
something.
Yes. All the
Really?
time. All the time. Um, there's a lot of people who are just finding me who haven't
Okay.
also like the body of work that I have on YouTube, but they may have seen one video where they're like, "How did you do this?" I've had people who love the craft side of this over the villaging side of this, and they've reached out to me and say, "I think that this is so cool and very creative, and I want to do this, and I don't even own any houses yet." So they build something and then go buy
Mhm.
a house for what
Okay.
they created. But I have a lot of people ask even just basic questions throughout the year, either through comments through YouTube or they'll email me directly. And it's nice to be able to truly be able to offer help and inspiration. And a lot of the times, the questions that they are asking, I may have a video for already so that
Mhm.
I could just shoot that video and say, actually, I did do that already. So you can check that
Yes.
out in the video and be able to
Mhm.
help them that way. But there are a lot of people who are still like just getting into this and who are wanting to grow their village and do it up versus just doing the snow blanket.
Okay. Well, I'm a testament. All things are possible.
Hmm.
You can do it. And again, like when I really started after my gifting of houses from my father-in-law, I know 3, 4 years straight. I would wait until right at girl. Let me tell you, 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm gone. The day after Christmas, I would have things mapped out, and I would call around to certain friends prior to, like, did you see many Christmas houses in Michael's or certain stores? Things don't move as fast, like
Hmm.
further out, right?
Hmm.
So I would ask that question because I'm creating a map and I'm going out to purchase things when they are like dirt cheap, from trees to houses.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. And that's what I would tell any person who's just starting out and you're trying to build up your inventory, or with whatever you have, make it make sense and work with that. And then here and there, when you get coupons, because like Hobby Lobby don't really honor anyone's coupons, but Michael's does.
Yeah.
So build up your coupons. And the thing, majority of the houses that I do own, even though it's a lot, believe me when I tell you, I've gotten them with a coupon
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and then people that don't village, they'll give me their coupon. Just put my number in. I'm like, okay. So that's yes. So that's like my one friend. She said she has a business. I love munchies. And she said, listen, I have a $10, $20 coupon. You're more than welcome. Just put my number in. I'm like, okay. So I'm punching her number in. Then I buy something. I'm punching my number in. I'm buying something. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I have to use my coupons, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
so I've learned to love coupons when it comes to villaging and
Yeah.
shopping.
It is not a cheap hobby. It can add up
No, it's not.
all of the
I
things.
have
I
lost my mind. Yes. Mary, you know, some things I have, I often think, sometimes I think, well, maybe I should sell some stuff, but then I'm not sure what I should sell. Or I don't know. It's just a lot. So, you know,
I can tell you,
I
if
don't
you
know.
decide to sell things, OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace are both two great avenues that a lot of people go to for Christmas village pieces. And even if
Okay.
you wanted to keep it strictly local so that you don't have to fuss with shipping, they
Mm-hmm.
move wherever people are at
Mm-hmm.
that are selling them within their own state. So that might be something you can try if you want to scale back. I've thought about scaling back myself and getting rid of some buildings, especially buildings that I bought that was part of a lot where
Uh-huh.
you buy 10 pieces like off of Facebook Marketplace, and but I only use
Mm-hmm.
a few of them out of those. All those extra ones
Mm-hmm.
that I rarely use, those are the ones that I would like to go ahead and resell. And if somebody was here,
But then if something comes up and you pivot and do a certain theme, you might need that house, you know? I don't know.
yeah, there's
Really?
there's certain pieces that I know I will never use again. My kids will have them sometimes in their villages, but
Uh-huh.
there's a few that I have enough of newer things that I like better, especially neighborhood houses. I know that
Okay.
I will only ever typically do 5, maybe 6 neighborhood houses at the most in a village.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
Mm-hmm.
need 10 houses, especially if the other ones were ones that I bought when I first got started to get me by because they were used or from the Goodwill or something like that. So some of them
Okay.
I just know I'm not going to use those anymore, and I'm fine with getting rid of those. Now, my like
Okay.
carnival pieces and things like that,
I
no,
love carnage.
those are not.
Okay.
They're staying
Uh-huh.
in my collection. Whether I use it every year or not, I will definitely
Mm-hmm.
do another carnival
Okay. For
village.
sure. I
So,
love things that move. I just love things that move.
to
I do. I do.
just
Now,
bring.
do you have a hard time finding pieces?
Honestly, I don't really look for pieces anymore. I don't even look
Okay.
because I don't want to be tempted. I
Okay. Okay.
honestly,
Okay.
I have enough. So I try not to buy buildings anymore. I try to focus on
Okay.
every year still buying the figurines that are new that have come out because
Hmm.
people are so important. And I
Yes.
also try to focus on accessories. And so
Okay.
Um, This past year, I did purchase the Acme Grinder coffee shop, and I already own two other different coffee shops. However,
I
they're
hate
not
that coffee shop.
animated. And the one that
Yeah.
I bought, the coffee grinder, is animated and it's a lot bigger. And I love the scale of
Okay.
it. So I did buy that. And then, being a influencer for Max, they send me, I get to choose like three buildings every year that
Uh-huh.
from them. And so they'll send me out three. And other than that, I
Mhm.
try not to buy too many buildings because I am coming up against storage issues. And I
Okay.
have nowhere to put all of these things. And my husband is
Oh,
hey, this is
yes, I understand. Like I had an issue with my chocolate truffle factory. Come to find out, it's a manufacturer's defect. So I think there's a man in Arizona that repairs them. So I had that in place of the, what is it called? The Candy Works? Yes, the
uh-huh.
Candy Works. So it took all of me to take out my truffle because it keeps getting stuck. It's a gear issue. So after 3 days of pining with that, I said, let me go down here and see what else I can. Let me see what's on the boardwalk. Candy is important.
Yeah,
So I swapped it out for the candy, but I will probably ship it to that gentleman to get it fixed for
yeah,
sure. Because I love my chocolate truffle factory and I love hot chocolate. I do have a coffee grinder down there. So, but I'm a tea and hot chocolate drinker.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Can I
so that's
tell
where I
you?
am today.
I think that the Candy Works building is more appropriately placed than the Truffle
Thank you.
Factory. And the reason I say that is because both the Candy Works has that red and white awning on it. And to the very left, the other side of your village, you have your
Hmm.
like swings with the same red and white pattern on it. And so when I
Yeah.
looked at your village just from the front, those
Hmm.
things made it look balanced. That's one of the first
Thank
things I
you, Marion.
noticed was, oh, it's balanced on both sides. You've got two
Yes.
larger pieces on both ends, and they both have that red and white stripe look in it. So to me, it looks intentional. It looks like it was
Yes.
planned out
Well,
that
after I
way.
did it, I was like, this looks better. This
Yeah,
flows a lot better.
yeah.
Yes.
I really
So I
like
couldn't think. I couldn't think like, yeah, that's what you really like, but it doesn't flow. And
it.
that's how I chose the carnival pieces, like with the Ferris wheel and the swing and those little cars. They all, well, those two have the red and white top, and
Yeah,
then of course the Ferris. You have to have a Ferris wheel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, for
So
sure. Every
that
boardwalk
was a
is
little
very.
voice, a little Miriam over here said, Trina, this, it has to make sense. Yes. So I know I have grown, and I know it has a lot to do with you. I know in my heart of all hearts. I know that for a fact. I'm so glad I found you.
I am glad we
Yes.
found each other.
Yes, ma'am.
Like
We can
it.
shop anytime.
I know. The next time I am out that in that area, we are gonna have to do a shopping day. Well, Trina, is there any last bit of tips or something you've tried that has worked or anything that you would just like to leave with us today?
I just have a saying that all things are possible. And if you can dream it, you can definitely do it.
Amen.
So I just know how I started and to where I am today. And I'm very proud of myself.
I'm proud
Extremely
of you
proud of myself.
too.
Well, thank you, because I have grown, and that's what it's about. Just taking the time and getting out there and just doing it. And I was like, how come I haven't done steps before? Maybe I just didn't have all the elevations to make those transitions.
Yeah.
But yeah, just all things are possible. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Just don't be afraid.
And if you can see something, if you get a vision for something, you can actually achieve that thing. If
Mhm.
you didn't have the capacity to achieve it, you wouldn't be able to see it.
That's true. That is so true.
Think that for
That
those of
is so
you
true.
who have seen things in your mind that you want to do and you have not had the courage to see it through, know you are able to achieve that thing. And I would like to challenge you to try because you
Okay.
can do it and all things are possible, just like Trina said.
Okay,
I love that.
Miriam.
I
Yes, absolutely. It has been an absolute pleasure.
same. Ditto. I wish we could do this more often.
Okay.
That wraps up today's interview. I would like to thank you all for hanging out with Trina and I. If you have any comments for her, questions, especially on her beautiful village, make sure to leave those in the comment section. And Trina can check that from time to time and answer you directly on those questions. Don't forget, we still have one more contest that will be coming out hopefully in the next few days for Villager Extraordinaire.
Whoa.
That is the big one. And oh my gosh, there are so many good ones. You guys are not going to want to miss that. My daughter's book is still available for sale on Amazon called Jack's Life. I'll put the link in the description box of this video.
Wonderful.
And as always, if you guys have any questions for me at all, leave me a line in the comment section and I will get back with you. And until I see you again, stay safe. God bless you and Merry Christmas. Bye.
Thank you.